studying Gene Sharp's materials. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Albert Einstein Institute and Gene Sharp and Robert Helby. And how do nonviolent movements shift when you have a dictatorship? We don't exactly have a dictatorship, but how do you shift the power? And there's four kind of components to that. And one component is that you take those who are oppressed and you empower them. So that's what's been, I think, really important about the Occupy movement is people are coming out into public and they're no longer hiding in their homes and feeling ashamed for not having a job or not being able to get health care. But they're coming out in public and we're saying this is not acceptable. It's a systemic problem. It's not an individual problem. So that's important. The second thing that they say you need to do is to weaken the pillars that uphold the current power structure. And they've identified at the Albert Einstein Institute about 9 or 10 pillars. One of those pillars is the police. And we've been really fortunate in Washington, D.C. that the police are supportive of what we're doing. So they've been fantastic. They accompany us on every march and they clear the streets. We just tell them where we're going and they clear the streets and protect us front and back. They flanked us. We've been hitting the Chamber of Commerce regularly. And yesterday, one of the police officers told one of our young people that he didn't know of a single Metropolitan Police Department member that was not supportive of what we were doing. But everywhere we go, we remind them that they're the 99% too, and that this is awesome for them, because that's important. Because when the powers are already starting to come down, the Department of Interior, because we're on federal property and you're not allowed to camp there, so we don't camp. We have meditation centers, and we tend to rest very deeply. Fire service comes through and they go, I noticed a few extra meditation centers popping up. At some point, we're already starting to get inklings that there's some just, they're not so happy about having us there. And so the other day they stopped by and they said, well, if we feel like we need to start moving you out, how many people do you think are going to be willing to risk arrest and stay here? And I said, with everything that's going on and all the support we're getting from the local community, I think hundreds of us will be sitting in this bus. They don't want to deal with hundreds of people and all of our stuff and all that. So I think right now we're protected, but we're putting the feelers out there. We are getting great community support, religious institutions, community groups.
Signed up with the Move On app.
Move On is a whole other story, and we don't want to be anywhere near Move On. We are very clear that we're an independent, broad-based, nonviolent, social transformative movement. And Move On's role is to elect more Democrats, no matter what they say up front. They haven't approached us October 2011 because they know the organizers. We have a reputation in this area of being independent. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long, but it's weakening the pillars, developing a strong internal resistance force. That's why we do daily actions. We've been teaching young people how far you can push things without actually getting arrested. So we've gone into Congress. We've disrupted committees. We did the super committee this week. We go to the Chamber of Commerce and shut them down. These types of things. And then, and banks, we've shut down a lot of banks and flyers out encouraging people to get their money out of the big banks. And then the fourth thing is to have a grand overall strategy. And I think that's where bringing all the occupations together to develop that grand strategy is really important and tricky. And some tools are starting to develop, and I think Steve's going to talk about some of that. But lastly, I wanted just to finish up with one of the young people that we read is Dr. Bruce Levine, and he actually came to our application in the beginning. And he's a psychologist. He has a book called Get Up, Stand Up, and he's written a lot about kind of the movements in America and why people weren't out on the streets and what it's going to take. And what I found was really interesting because this is a role that we play. He talks a lot about how in our society we're tending to medicate people that are depressed or anxious in this society. And that maybe we need to start looking at the fact that what we're doing is we're kind of treating someone's symptoms, but their reaction is a normal reaction to what's happening. What's happening in this country is not acceptable. We should be outraged. And maybe we shouldn't be medicating everybody to not be outraged.